you have to make sure that you're planning ahead for how you can exit and get that freedom and flexibility and grow the finances, right? Because when you're in your business, if you're just churning deals, if you're just churning on the day to day, that's amazing. But what is your end game so you can actually then have that pile of cash so you can really truly dive in and make the impact and you can have the freedom and flexibility that you want to make. What's up, everybody? I am bringing back the Trevor Truck Talks, and not that they ever went anywhere. They never went away. Just the first start of the year here has been an amazing start, but I haven't really kind of mixed up the way that we've been doing podcasts a little bit. We've been doing more in the studio with Brady on the team now, a little bit higher production value, but been getting amazing feedback. I've been on vacation, traveling, for business, all kinds of things. And what I want to do on this episode, it's going to be a short episode, is I learned a lot of things this week. Okay, I learned a lot of things this week. So I want to catch you guys up. I want to catch you guys up a little bit. Okay, so we started off the year. We did the Carrot Summit. Carrot Summit went amazingly well, and I had thousands of people tune in, and we were really able to help a bunch of investors and agents really dial in their strategy for the year with this market that's shifting. And then I had a chance to go to Boston for the week for my coach, the coach that I hire. And we get on the phone at least once a month, and there's a lot of good accountability there. We've got to deliver our scorecard. Since I don't have a board of directors at this company, at Carrot, it's really hard sometimes as the CEO if you don't have people that you're accountable to. Of course, we're accountable to our customers, right? We're accountable to you guys. Okay, you guys are my ultimate accountability. But then we're also accountable to our team members. But other than that, who's going to hold us accountable to actually delivering the results we say we need to deliver? Revenue-wise, customer happiness-wise, purpose-wise, things like that, right? So that's why I hired a coach last year. Was in Boston for a week, had amazing meetings with the former chief marketing officer of HubSpot, Mike Volpe, the number 6 or 7 guy at HubSpot. A multi-billion dollar public company now, and just amazing entrepreneurs, and walked away with some great lessons there I'll share at a later date on another podcast. But this week was interesting. Okay. One thing I really believe in is taking consistent sabbaticals or consistent time off. It's something I historically haven't been great at, admittedly. But my wife and I, we scheduled a vacation with the family this last week in Los Angeles for Disneyland. And the kids, of course, are a perfect age for it. They're 4, 6, and 8, and we had a blast. Okay, we had a blast. The weather wasn't very warm down there, rained a couple days. And fun fact for you, I've only been in Disneyland in February. I've been in Disneyland twice. I've been in Disney World all February because my parents own a rental equipment store, and their annual conventions are always in February, and they bounce between LA, New Orleans, and Orlando. We usually join them on one of their conventions. But we had a great time last week. I had a chance to meet with awesome people. I was down there. I had a chance to really unplug. I didn't do any work while down there, just read. And that's something that's really important. I'd love to kind of seed that within you, is when you take time off, truly take time off. I know it's really tempting sometimes to dig in there and go, I'm just going to do a little bit of work. I'm going to check email. And not saying that's not okay. I'm just saying, find some times throughout the year that are sacred that you do no work. And there might be other travel. There might be other trips that you do work on, right? There might be times where it's a weekend vacation or it's a week vacation. And this one, you are working 2 hours a day, and you communicate that with your spouse ahead of time, and you carve out the time so there's no guilt on either side, and you make it happen. But for sure, find other time during the year that you're not working at all during those, because you end up really digging deeper on those relationships. And especially what I've found for me is my kids. My kids notice it when I'm working on vacation and when I'm not. And I know they have really even actually voiced it to me, even at 4, 6, and 8, how much they appreciate it when I'm just there and I'm hanging out and I'm not working. But then this is where it gets interesting, and this is where the lesson comes in that I've relearned. I want to kind of impart to you on this week. So we drive up to. We fly back to Oregon. We land in a town called Medford, Oregon, which is where we flew out of. It's a small town just south of Roseburg. Then the 90-minute trek north from Medford to Roseburg, because we don't have a commercial airport here in town. And we get here and we knew that there was a big storm coming through, but we didn't really know how big it was. And we show up to our neighborhood. There's no power. There's no power anywhere. And so we're looking online, we're looking at stuff, and apparently this snowstorm that had just started happening Sunday last week ended up being the largest amount of snow that had possibly ever dropped in that amount of time here in Roseburg, for sure in the last several decades. And in some areas, we got about 10 inches of snow in 2 days, which you don't get that here in Roseburg. Okay. So a lot of you in northern states are probably going, man, 10 inches of snow, that's nothing. And I agree. I grew up on the east side of the Cascades in Oregon, and we would get that every winter. But here in Roseburg, that's not the case. And so, trees, there's tons of amazing trees around here, but they're not really geared for all that snow. And so power went out Sunday, the entire town of Roseburg, 30,000 people. The power was out all day, Monday at our offices, downtown Roseburg, at all of our homes. I don't know if anyone had power in the entire town of Roseburg for even all of Monday. Tuesday, our power came back on, and then it was on all day, and then it went out again. Another tree fell over, took out power lines. And even today, as I record this, I'm recording this on Friday afternoon. Last Sunday is when it happened. We just got power back today. And there's still 10,000 plus homes in Roseburg that don't have power. And so here's the lesson this week, y'all. So a couple different things. The first lesson is I'm definitely really reliant on technology, and oftentimes use it as a crutch, I've talked about it before, but both for kind of like filling moments, which that's an addictive habit when we start to use something that's not constructive, that fills moments just to fill the moment. If you pick up that phone when you're at the grocery store line because you just want to pick up your phone, and rather than looking at people and engaging people, that's probably a borderline addiction habit. If you're there with your kids or your spouse, and you find yourself having to pick up the phone because a notification came through, that's an addictive habit. And I've found myself in that. I've had to have practices to help me get out of it. I'm not out of it yet. But the amazing thing was this. Well, everyone's out of power, and we didn't have water. We didn't have heat, just our gas fireplace, but we have a big house. So it didn't really heat up a whole lot. It's 55 degrees in the house this week. What it did do is the kids were home all week because they were out of school. My wife's patients and her practice were rescheduled. And we had a lot of amazing family time. Okay. Even though I was working this week, we had a lot of amazing family time. We didn't watch TV, of course, because we couldn't. We read. We would look at videos and pictures on our phones. We were on our phones with the kids, but we were looking at family photos and family videos that were stuck on our phones that we forgot that they were there. And the kids had such an amazing time flipping through those. They had way more fun doing that than they ever would watching any TV show. So we're going to start doing that a lot more often, flipping through those memories and really reliving those memories with the kids. And my wife and I were talking yesterday, and we said, you know what, even though this is it's a big inconvenience, and this is a massive first time world problem, right? We're out of power, but we've still got all of the luxuries that the many countries, millions, if not billions of people around the world don't have, even the luxuries we had in a 55-degree house, no power, no water. And we were going, you know what, this has actually been an awesome week because it forced us to do one thing. It forced us to slow down. It forced us to slow down from all of this busyness, y'all. All this busyness that we put in our lives for no reason. Okay, we have these goals, and these goals, I've talked about goals before, where sometimes goals can be a really constructive and amazing thing, and sometimes goal can be a destructive thing. Sometimes goals are really there for ego. Sometimes goals are there for ego, not for really actually producing the thing that we say that we want. We say we want freedom. We say we want flexibility. Okay, we say we want to make an impact, and we think that those finances and goals are going to help unlock that. But the problem is oftentimes we get the finances and we don't unlock the freedom, flexibility, or impact. We don't do it because ego steps in the way, and these social norms step in the way to say, you've grown your company, therefore you should grow it some more. And if we don't grow our companies more, there must be something wrong with us. You show up to a mastermind and someone's doing more, and they ask you, what are your goals? You did 300,000 this year. You got to do more, right? Because that's what you do. You do more. And so throughout all of our lives, and it's baked into our kids in a big way now with the technology influences, doing more is a thing that's a badge of honor. Doing less and curtailing things or taking breaks or taking sabbaticals is something that oftentimes is seen as a weakness. That person must not be very motivated. That person must not be very ambitious. Why would they be taking that break? Why would they be dialing things back or hitting the brake? They must not be ambitious. There's something wrong. Okay. And I love guys like Grant Cardone. Okay. I love the guy. Okay. But when he's always out there about talking about 10Xing stuff, I really do believe that what he's talking about and his intention is correct. But I think the way that so many people interpret what 10X is, I honestly think that they're picking it up the wrong way. It doesn't mean that you should be 10Xing your income. It doesn't mean that you should be 10Xing your revenue. It doesn't mean that you should be 10Xing your customer base. What is 10X? You might find that you're insanely happy, fulfilling what you want to fulfill, making the impact you want to make, having the freedom and flexibility, having the ability to have the freedom and flexibility, doing exactly what you're doing right now. You don't need to frickin' 10X unless your mission and purpose requires that, right? So you guys might be asking this. I was talking to Brady on my team in my office before I left, and it's 6:35 p.m. right now on Friday. I don't normally go home this late. I'm usually home by 3 or 4 o'clock on a Friday. But I was having some really, really amazing conversations with a mentor of mine, Seth Bueckley. And another conversation I had with my dad and my brother was I'm heading into my house right now. I'm heading into our gate in our driveway. So Seth is my mentor. I've had him on the podcast a couple times, and he's an amazingly successful entrepreneur, but also just such a great level-headed guy, amazing Christian. And we were talking today because we haven't had a chance to catch up in a while. And he was challenging me. He said, Trevor, he goes, I know you don't plan on selling the company anytime soon. He said, I know it's something that you really, really love what you're doing. He goes, you know what? One thing I really want to plant in your ear is that you really, really, really need to think about the long game. He goes, I know you've got a big vision, but how is it that you protect yourself and those around you with this? Because you're not guaranteed a result at the end of this business thing. Okay. Even though I have no plans of selling Carrot, y'all. I have no plans of selling Carrot. Definitely not anytime soon. I have no plans of selling it, possibly ever. We'll see. You never know. He said you have to make sure that you're planning ahead for how you can exit and get that freedom and flexibility and grow the finances, right? Because when you're in your business, if you're just churning deals, if you're just churning on the day to day, that's amazing. But what is your end game so you can actually then have that pile of cash so you can really truly dive in and make the impact and you can have the freedom and flexibility that you want to make. And so we were talking about different things, and he really challenged me to not think smaller. He challenged me to think bigger. And the way you do that is by getting the right people around you. So it's not a what issue or a how issue. It's a who issue. It's who do you need to get around you that can help you get where you want to go. You don't have to know how to do it. You don't have to know what it is. You have to know why. You have to know the why. Why is it that you're doing something? What is your why? What is the business's why? Why does the business exist? And it can't be just to do deals. It can't be just to make a few bucks. Why does the business exist? You need to drive the why in your business. And then you need to find the who can tell you the what and the how. Okay? You need to drive the why. Sometimes you'll drive the what, especially if you're a small business, maybe 1, 2, 3 people. But as you get over that, you need to find the people in your business who know the how. So you need to be looking for the who. That's where you truly get freedom, y'all. That's where you truly get freedom. In my previous businesses, I thought the freedom came from the dollar amount. That's not the case, because as you get a higher dollar amount, you chase after a bigger dollar amount. And if you don't ever find the who to plug into your business, to plug into your life, who can figure out, who already know the what and the how, then you're going to continually find more ways to fill your time. You end up getting busier and busier, and then circling all the way back to this week. What really hit me on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week was how much I love this business, how much I love the purpose and the why behind our business, how much our customers are being impacted, how much our team is amazing. But I also realized how busy I've let life get. And that was a really, really good reality check this week with the weather and with the power being out and with my wife and kids at home and me being, me slowing down too. Now, after a week-long vacation, guys, okay, it has nothing to do with taking time off. I had time off last week. I took time off, okay? But it was all about making sure that you're really actually stepping back and slowing down and thinking about, man, am I doing the right things to live the life so I can make the impact I want to make? Am I doing the right things to live the life to fulfill the why that I'm here? And if you're struggling with your why, what I want you to do is what are the things that trigger emotion? What are the things that trigger emotion in you when someone's proud of you? What are the things that trigger emotion in you when you've worked so hard that something comes to fruition, or you can even picture that thing coming to fruition? That triggers this little tiny emotional thing within you. I was on a phone call with my dad today. My dad and my brother text messaged me a little bit later in the afternoon. They said, "Hey, they live in Klamath Falls, Oregon, a city just outside of about 3 hours away from Roseburg." And they said, "Hey, the local food bank called us." And my dad owns a business, a rental equipment company, like I'd mentioned. And they said the food bank called us, and they kind of said something about carrot, and they said something about a $5,000 check they got, and and they were trying to kind of figure out who's behind it. And he said, "I wanted to call you guys. So number one, was this check from you guys? Number two, um, they just wanted to call and say how much they appreciated it. They've been praying for funds because their food bank was getting low, and it's really cold and tons of snow, and it's a very high poverty area. And they said they were praying that something like this would happen, and someone walks in and gives them a $5,000 check with the top of the check that says a company called Carrot from Roseburg on it. And the guy who delivered it mentioned my dad's company, so they gave him a call. And so my dad hit me up and we talked, and I said, "Yeah, that's our company. We've got our giving program that we started this last year, where 1% of our gross revenue we give to causes that amplify our core values. That's part of our impact. That's part of our why. And you don't have to be making a lot of money to do that. You can be making $10 a month and find a way to give back to people." Okay. And so we started talking. He said, "Trev," he goes, "Man, I'm almost like getting emotional just saying this." He said, "Trev," he said, "That's amazing." He said, "Especially in a small community like ours," he said, "that's a big deal. That's not something that causes like this that are in need get $5,000 checks every day or every year even. And that's a massive difference that you made." And he said, "I'm just so proud of you for doing what you're doing." And, oh man, it's like hitting me right now. And he said, "You're making a big impact. You're making a big impact, even just for this little tiny charity here." That's one of those little things. And the funny thing is, guys, right before that, my brother had texted me, who works for my dad, and he said the same thing. And I almost like passed it off. And I said, "Yep, that's a check we cut. It's part of our giving program. Brendan delivered it. I was pumped to be able to do it." And then I moved on to the next thing. I let busy get in the way of impact again. Okay. And it wasn't until my dad talked to me and really made me slow down and think about it that I realized that we need to take these moments to appreciate and really cement and let that impact that we're making sink in, because that's why we do this. It's not for the extra buck. Okay. I was crazy pumped to cut that $5,000 check, and about $70,000 or $80,000 last year we cut to other causes that mattered. And just literally today, another $4,000 went out to help a local warming shelter as this is happening, and a local elderly outreach program that they launched literally because people are trapped in their homes with no power right now. And, Carrot was able to fund it. And so for me, this isn't to say or to brag that we're donating all this money, guys. It's to say, slow the heck down. Slow the heck down. Don't have to have a power outage and your water go out and your whole town, be out of power to really force you to slow down and spend time with your family and quality time with people. Don't have to have something like this to make you slow down and look at the people around you and find out how you can help them and impact them. Don't have moments like this that make you go, "Man, am I pushing just for the sake of pushing? Or am I doing it because there's an impact I'm looking at making?" Now I'm going to finalize it, and I'm going to pop into the house because we got our power back 2 hours ago. My wife is pumped. We got the house heated again. I got groceries and take it into the house. But when people ask me, "Why do you keep growing carrot then?" Trevor, you always talk about this kind of stuff, slowing down. You talk about that an extra dollar doesn't add happiness. There's diminishing returns. All that's 100% true. The reason we're going to continue to grow this company, the reason I'm going to be transparent with y'all. We started this company. I thought, man, it'd be cool if I could grow this company to 10 or 15 or 20 grand a month. Okay. We're going to do $10 million next year. And I'm saying that because it's not because we have focused on the dollar. It's not because we've said, let's grow to another dollar amount. Yes, we have metrics. Yes, we have scorecards that grade us on the business objectives, right? But the reason I'm doing this and the reason I keep showing up is because I want to make that impact we made at that food bank 100,000 times over. I want to make that impact we're able to make locally to help a warming shelter. And I want to be that company, those people that people reach out to that know that man, that can really contribute and help. Okay. It's an honor to me that the commissioners of our county called me, to see how we could fund this elderly outreach. I'm like, man, let me know where to send the $2,000. And we did. Okay. So that is a big reason. That's one of the things. Okay. That's one of the things. The second thing, y'all, is I get comments every single day from you guys, and this pumps me up. Podcast comments, YouTube comments, Facebook messages, Instagram comments of people that are saying how we're changing their lives. People that are saying how we're changing their mindset around money. People that are saying how we're changing their mindset around success, around happiness, around how to actually market effectively and grow a consistent, predictable, momentum building lead flow so you can finally have freedom, flexibility, grow those finances so you can make the impact. That's why I do it. Okay, we have 5,000 plus customers right now. We're going to keep on growing this company, touch tens and tens and tens of thousands of customers to reach millions and millions of people through you. I want you to be showing up to house sellers' houses. I want you to be showing up to house buyers' appointments. I want you to be showing up to your clients and breathing in positivity and possibility to them in their darkest moments or in their best moments. I want you to be breathing in gratitude and sharing and really helping to amplify the amazing things that we believe in here at Carrot, but also we hope you believe in many of the same things. Because if we can have 20,000, 30,000, 50,000, 100,000, 400,000 clients out there in the world leveraging our software, leveraging our training, whether they're in real estate or not, that right there is not something that's just a micro impact. That's a macro impact. That's something that changes family trees for generations. And if that doesn't excite you, y'all, if that doesn't excite you, I'm not sure what will. All right. So I'm going to head in and have an amazing, amazing evening, morning, whatever time it is that you're watching this. Snap a picture of this and share it on Instagram if it hits you. If you're going to find a way to pause and not have to have an electrical outage in order to do so this weekend, I would love it if you'd take a picture, share it, and encourage others to do the same thing. And as always, give us a rating and review on iTunes. Those things are the lifeblood of helping us to reach more people with this message. And it only takes you a couple minutes, but it means a massive, massive deal for us. I read every single rating and review on there. I take them all to heart. And I can tell you, like, that's some of my favorite time during the week when I read those things and just see the impact that some of these episodes are making. So head over to iTunes, Stitcher, wherever you listen to the Carrot Cast, and just take 14 seconds, y'all, 14 seconds, and just let us know how this has impacted you so far. All right. Have an amazing, amazing rest of the day. If you guys have not had a chance to do it yet, and if you're looking at potentially coming to Carrot Camp, go to carrotcamp.com, carrotcamp.com. A little commercial here for you guys. Carrotcamp.com. So we started Carrot Camp a little over a year and a half ago now as kind of a pilot program to go, hey, what would it look like if we were to have a small, intimate event here at Carrot HQ, Carrot headquarters in Roseburg, Oregon, during the time when there's good weather, not like this week, during the time when there's good weather, and just have high-level people, amazing people, masterminding, but also getting to see behind the scenes of what we do here at Carrot, getting to see the team, getting to see how we operate, how we learn, how we run. And we also get you out of your element a little bit, okay? We go up in the mountains for a little bit. We just have a lot of fun, y'all. Have a lot of fun. And it's not something where you have to be a big outdoors person at all, okay? Part of it on Monday is we get you up in the mountains about 3:30 in the afternoon. Some people go for a cool little waterfall hike. Some people go for a mountain bike ride. Then we meet right in the middle for a catered dinner on the river until dusk, and then we head back into town. That's after a full day of masterminding and me walking you through some exercises that is helping me in my life and my business. It can change your life and your business. Then day 2 is more diving in, more masterminding with high-level people. We're going to be sharing some of these stories here in upcoming episodes of the Carrot Cast, of the impact that Carrot Camp has made. And the biggest compliment that we can get here at Carrot with any of our events, any of our things, is whether people want to keep on coming back for more. And we've been blown away with the people returning to Carrot Camp for another round. Okay, this isn't something that is billed as a ongoing mastermind, everybody. This isn't something that we even try to sell people a second a second ticket later. There's no sales pitch whatsoever at Carrot Camp. Okay. What happens is we're having people reach out months after saying, oh my gosh, the impact that had on my life, my mindset towards success, my mindset towards building a business that truly gives me freedom, flexibility, impact, and finances. The connections I made at Carrot Camp were such high level. I've done deals where the changes and strategies I've made in my business or life afterwards is so important. I want to come back for more. So we have already 1/3 of the spots filled up for May from previous Carrot Campers. Previous Carrot Campers are coming back, paying the full ticket price because of the impact it's making. And we also have other Carrot Campers who are saying, you know what, I can't make the May one, but I'd love to come back for the September one again. And we've already had returning Carrot Campers. So if you want one of the remaining spots, before we email it to our whole 45,000 person email list, go to carrotcamp.com. Now, as at the time I'm recording this, we've had 20 or so applications. We haven't even begun to wrap them all up as far as getting them all to submit payment, of course, because we can't. There's only 15 total spots. But this week, we're calling back the applicants. We're seeing who's a fit. We're going to close it down. And if there's any left, which there might be a couple spots, if there's any left, then we're going to open it up to our email list. You're listening to this the week that we're actually doing that. So if you hear this the day that it goes out on Tuesday and you're interested in Carrot Camp, just go to carrotcamp.com this week, and there likely will be some spots left for the May event. Otherwise, we'll open up more spots for September. But we'd love to see you there, everybody. Have an amazing, amazing, amazing rest of the week, and we appreciate you. Thank you.